Hi everyone, a very warm welcome back to MEC-TEC. As you can see, we're sitting in the Trusty Old Cavalier today. There are a few jobs that we need to do on it to get it a bit more finished off to take to shows and things like that. Obviously it is missing a fair few bits of trim and whatever where it was repainted and we haven't put things back together, or I haven't finished putting things back together. So in this video it's going to sort of jump about a little bit. There's going to be a few different jobs that we're going to do. We're going to be doing some adjustment on the rear wheel bearings. We're going to be doing this door handle on this driver's side, fitting that. We're also going to be doing the door mouldings. I have put a new set of mats in it already. I can't remember whether I filmed me putting them in. I'm obviously only a set of mats, so that's not really anything. So yeah, there's going to be a few jobs going on in this video. It's going to dot about a little bit, but obviously hopefully by the end of it we should have a sort of semi-finished, sort of show ready-ish car. So let's crack on and get some work done. Right, now we're up in the air. The first job we've got to do is just adjust these rear wheel bearings. In fact, I've got the handbrake on. Just take the handbrake off. Alright. Probably, I don't know if you're about to hear this, but it's got a bit of play in that side. And let me just take you around to the other side. You'll see this side's a bit worse. Hang on a second, zoom you out. Why is that not zooming out? There we go. This side's, hopefully you can hear that on camera. So it doesn't want some adjustment on the rear wheel bearings. So we'll get the hubcaps off, get the wheels off. These are roller taper bearings on the back of this, so they just want the caps taken off, car-slated nut off, little nip up, maybe a little bit more grease, and then obviously reset them with the split pin. So not too much work. Let's get it done. Rightio, now is the wheel off. So you probably could do it with the wheel on, but this cap just pops off the middle and that will show you the car-slated nut behind. Now these are fairly new bearings on this, so obviously they do want adjustment a little bit as they start to wear and whatever else. Nothing unusual really in that. Maybe a bit of extra grease, why not? There's a fair bit of grease in there, as you can see from that. Unlike when we did the wheel bearings on the cab that didn't have hardly any grease in them at all. So I'm going to get all this grease off and then we can get the split pin out. I need to go and get some needle nose pliers, get the split pin out, and then we can adjust on that. It doesn't look like it needs any more grease, it looks like it's got plenty. So let me grab some needle nose pliers. Right. I'll just unbend that split pin. Should just knock through then, hopefully. Pliers aren't that great. That should do the job. Go, little tap. That should then reveal the, I think there might actually be a castellated nut on these rather than the washer over the top. Just take the handbrake off, put the handbrake on again. Don't want a lot, obviously, just enough so you can get the split pin into the next notch. Probably about right on that one actually. Gone around one notch, so. Not the correct tools to be using, I need a hammer really. That's all the way in the garage, so we'll use what we've got. And what I'll do this back up again, and then I'll stick the wheel back on and obviously feel for the play then, because obviously you can feel it a lot more with the wheel on than you can obviously just with the bearing, or with the hub I should say, or drum I should say. Grease is pushing it out. Right, there we go. That is back on. Cloth here, I was looking for that a second ago. Alright, let's get this wheel back on, see what it feels like. You've got to make sure these wheel bolts are tight, otherwise it won't give you an accurate reading of the very little play in that now, so that should be just fine. Top banana. Right, I'm going to do the same on the other side, which is a bit worse, and then we can go on to the next job. Come back to you in a minute. Rightio, as you would have seen from that bit of time lapse there, this side was the worst side out of the two of the bearings, and I did actually have to take the bearing out and repack it with some new grease because there wasn't a lot of grease in it for whatever reason. But now there is no play in that at all. You can't hear any play in it at all, and it's lovely and smooth when you turn it. Just hear a very light little bit of brake drag, which is absolutely fine. So that is the bearings done. Rightio, I've just spent the last 2 hours or thereabouts cleaning up the door mouldings for the Cavalier. Now, not only were they dirty, but they were also covered in grey paint along the bottom edges, mainly because years ago the old Cavalier had the bottom half painted grey to cover up the rust before I repaired it all properly, and obviously they didn't do a very good job of masking it and got paint all over the mouldings, which I wasn't very pleased about. So I've just spent ages with thinners and a scourer getting all that off. Now I was going to, you might notice on these, obviously the red strip, which is for an SRI. Now my car is an L, so it definitely isn't an SRI. And they should be chrome. You can just about see the chrome on the edge of the red, where it's actually had vinyl stuck over it to make it look like an SRI moulding. Apart from that one, which is a genuine SRI moulding. So I was going to de-red them all and make them chrome again like they should be, but I can't because that one is red all the way over and all the way through. So at the moment I'm going to have to leave the red on there, although it's obviously starting to deteriorate where it's been on there for 30 odd years. So yeah, we are going to get these fitted back on the car. One of them I need to glue one little section on, the other ones are all on clips, so hopefully it should be a fairly quick job to get these back on. So yeah, I'll come back to you in a second. Rightio, this is the door that we're going to have to glue because we had to do a repair on the door here and we lost the two little tabs that the clips go onto. Now you can see on that back door there, they've got little tangs they click onto. So I've clicked on the ones that we can use, and I've actually got a broken clip here that broke when taking them off. You can see it's missing the two little tabs on the top. You should have two little tabs on like that. So what I'm actually going to do is put that in position. It does stay in there luckily, like that. And I'm going to use some Worth Bond and Seal. I'm going to put a bit underneath that clip, and then obviously some on the back of the clip, and then that will effectively pack it out so that this will glue to the door, and then I'll use some tape to hold it in place overnight, and then that should be good to go. Now this should be the only door we have to glue, all the others should just clip on. So, and if you're wondering why I'm doing this while it's nearly dark, I've got a car show to go to in the morning and I want to put the mouldings on. So let's see if we can get this glued on and go from there. Rightio, you can see that is the first moulding on. I like to glue the very corner of it because it was sticking out slightly, but the bit in the middle that I glued is actually okay. So right, these are the clips. I'll just show you this live. These are the clips that go on. They've got little sliders on them, and you basically click them into the hole. Give that a little wipe first. Let me go have a cloth. Hang on. Right, so make sure this is clean underneath. This car's been sitting there a little while. So basically you put them on the biggest hole and then you slide them sideways until they click into place, like that. It's as easy as that. And then when you've got these on, you put a little bit of pressure on these top tangs and click them over the bottom. Now I've had these soaking in hot water, just so that hopefully they're not too brittle, and they'll obviously go on okay. So let's see how this one goes. Hopefully a bit of tape I put on there is not in the way. Might be over a bit like that. There we go. So yeah, basically you just push them on the top and then click down. Hopefully get a satisfying click on both. I'm only getting it on one of them at the moment. Oh. See, that's the problem. That's just snapped the clips off there. So on that one you can see the two tangs have snapped off the top, so it's obviously not flexible enough. This one's okay, that one's not, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. Okay, looks like we're going to put another clip in there. Then I don't know if I've got enough clips to keep breaking them, but we'll see. So I'm going to carry on like that and work my way around. Hopefully we'll have a set of mouldings on by the end of it. Rightio, after replacing that broken clip on this front wing, the other one at the back door there went on absolutely fine. So that is that side done. They're pretty solid on there, they ain't going anywhere. Obviously I've got a bit of tape just holding this corner in because it was sticking out slightly. Obviously it's glued on that one where there wasn't the tangs on the door. This one's got all the tangs on it, so that's as it is. So now we can move on to the other side. Let's carry on. Rightio, as you can see, is the next morning. The mouldings are on. Now I had to glue a couple of bits on these because on this rear door, this was actually a new door, new old stock genuine door, but didn't have the little tangs on it. And we put tangs on it, but they were slightly too deep, or too tall, so the clips didn't hold on them tight. So I was supposed to put a little bit of glue behind each clip on those, so the clips are all on there. Now unfortunately I'm missing 2 clips, so I've had to put 3 clips on the front one and glue it in a couple of places as well. So they are on there anyway, so they're nice and strong. They're not mint, but to be honest with you, the car's not mint, so we're not going for absolute perfection on this one. It's just to make it nice and tidy. So next job is to get the fuel cap fitted, or fuel door I should say. This has been off the car for ages. I need to put it back on. It's basically held on with 2 Phillips screws, not too much to hold it on really. Just basically goes in there like that, and then you've got the 2 screws which now I'm looking. I've gone in my pot of things. I'm not sure whether these are the right screws. Actually, I'm going to go and check these screws are the right ones, and I'll come back to you in a second because I think these are too small. Won't be a sec. Right, the original screws have gone walkies. I don't know where they are. If there's any problem with taking the car apart so long ago and putting it back together bit by bit, obviously all the bits go missing. So I've got 2 nice new screws to go in here. It basically just self taps into the side of the body. It's a bit old school, but it works, hopefully. These have got nice, these have got bigger heads on these screws, so it'll obviously clamp the plastic better, because last thing you want is it to stress it too much and then obviously damage it. There we go, they are in there, nice and tight. There we go. I haven't got a lot to click on that. It hasn't got anything to click on. It just sits like that. It's a bit naff, isn't it? But there we go. It's on there at least. It looks better with it on there than with it off. So there we go. Could do with a little bit of tweaking upwards, if anything. Let's see if it'll move upwards very slightly. I don't know if it will or not, but we'll see. Hasn't really got any movement in it, to be honest with you. Yeah, bear in mind, the old Cavalier is on its 3rd time around the clock. It's done 230,000 miles. It's not in its first flush of youth by any stroke of imagination. So things like this, where this is not sitting quite right, there's not much I can do about it, because that is actually playing the hinge, unfortunately. Now there may be something I can do with that at a later date, as far as maybe heating this up, holding it in place until it cools down, and then it will obviously align it better. But for now, that is all I can do, I'm afraid. Not ideal, but at least it's on there. Let's carry on to the next job. Right, next job. A nice little satisfying job, this one. This door handle has been off of this door for I don't know how long, too long. Now basically this was quite badly damaged, this bit and the little bit that clicks under here, mainly the bit that clicks under here, because the sun had got to the top of it and it just basically disintegrated into nothing. So this is actually another door handle that I've got, that I've then rubbed down and painted and lacquered to hopefully protect it from sun damage from years to come. That is the theory anyway. So I'm going to have a door handle back on there. It does need a clean. We can do that. Cobwebs in here. Cobwebs. Right, we can do that once it's on there and sorted out. So it's held on with 3 quite big screws, as you can see. They basically go in and into these. Got like plastic clips in the door which they go into. Get them at the right angle, and that will hold that nice and strong. They are a bit fiddly to start sometimes. Hopefully it'll find its way into the correct clip. Doesn't appear to want to be at the moment, but I'll get there in a minute. Try and get an easier one in to start maybe, just to get us going. Come on, you're making me look stupid on camera. Not that I don't look stupid anyway, but you know what I mean. Yeah, that's the first one in. So that's not hitting anything. Okay. Right, second one. Where's my other screws gone? Why is it whenever you put something down, it goes walkies? Right, let's see if we can get this other end in before we put the middle one in, otherwise we've got no hope. Just got to get it in line with the clip and hopefully it'll start. There we go, that's bitten now, I think. Another bit of a fiddle to get in, I'd have to say. Especially this back one because it's at an angle. I think I might have got it. Yes. There we go, so that one on. Third one goes under here. Hopefully it'll go in. And that is a nice little job. Now I know it's not 100%, but obviously I'm working with what I've got here, and it doesn't look like full register this one's going in. If it is going in, it's not tightening up. So it's just spinning. Yeah, that was just spinning. Right, I'm going to faff around with this for a minute, see if I can get this to do up, because it's not having it at the moment. I think it gets stuck for some reason. It was going a bit wonky, so let's see if that does it. Just try to straighten it up a bit. It's not having it. Why, but it's not having it. Right, I'm going to faff around with this for a minute, see what's going on, and I'll come back to you. Rightio, after a slight bit of fettling, as in I drilled the back of the holes out on these because the holes were too small in the washers. Now I think this has had screws put in this that were too big for it before, which is why they didn't fit over this armrest, because obviously this armrest was off another car. I've actually used the bigger screws, but obviously just drilled the washers outside, so there's no problem. It literally was about a mil, if that. So that is proper on there now, solid, not going anywhere. This is the bit of trim that goes on the bottom there, that just clicks in. Unfortunately it's not perfect. As you can see there, it's got a little bit of sun damage on it still, but it's a lot better than what was on the car originally. So gently click that in. Like that. Yeah, so it's going to need some repair there again, I think. For now, at least it's on there. It is what it is, I'm afraid. As I say, this car isn't necessarily in the first flush of youth, so we're doing what we can. Now, the next job I'm going to do is try and put this mirror trim back on, which goes on there. This is just a plastic trim. Again, the clips are absolutely muddied on it, so not ideal. But in fact, that one's broken in half, so we may have a bit of an issue there. It's been clumped on there before and obviously not pushed on properly, so that's actually the wrong side. That's how we want. This side's got no clips on it at all, so that's not good. I don't know how that's going to attach, to be honest with you. It does hook around the edge of the door. I may have to abort this plan. I'm putting these on for now because these are pretty muddled. I think I'm going to have to get some new ones, to be honest with you. Yeah, see that's coming off there. There's no clips left on it. So, okay, we'll leave those off for now, unfortunately. That is a job for another day. At least we've got the door handle on, we've got the fuel cap on, we've got the mouldings on. Yeah, we are a bit further along than what we was before, so that's the main thing. I am running out of time to go to this show, so I'm going to have to give this thing a good old wash and brush up. And how as it is, I think. I am running out of time at the moment, and we'll have to come back to this another day and do some more jobs on it. But at least we've got a little bit further. Right, another little job that I've just done off camera, I'll just show you. In here you've got the check strap, and this one was missing the pin. Now, I didn't have it and I didn't know where it went, but I did have an old door pin which had actually snapped off the driver's door previous to taking it off. So because that had a replacement pin, I had two halves of a door pin left, one of which was exactly the right size and length to fit in there. So I've just put that in there, just taps in, bit of grease, and that is that check strap sorted out now. So that is absolutely great. At least now I haven't got to worry about the kids flinging the door open and it going too far. That's lovely. Let's carry on. Right then, that is going to be it for this episode on MEC-TEC. We've got a few more jobs done on the old Cavalier to hopefully finally get it all finished off and done for a good long while. Now, in case you're wondering, I did make it to that car show on that Sunday. It was matching green car show, and I went down there and met my old mate Dan with his DeLorean. We had a great day down there, some brilliant classics, real good variety of cars. But the old Cavalier is running absolutely terrible. Mainly because it hasn't been used much for quite a while now. The carburetor on this was changed many years ago for a Weber conversion, but it has never been rebuilt since, so it's done probably at least 150,000 miles on this carb quite easily, and it's never been touched. So I have got a rebuild kit for it. We're going to be doing that in a future video, get the carb all rebuilt. Hopefully that will sort out any run issues that we've got, because it's a real pain to start at the moment, and also the tick over is absolutely terrible. So that is going to be coming up in a future video. If you do like what you see, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button down there, and also hit the little notification bell. It'll tell you every time I upload a video. I have got Instagram, MEC_TEC1985, and I have got Facebook, MEC-TEC, for little sneak peeks during the week of what I'm up to. And all that's left for me to say is, if you want to join me soon for more automotive adventures, I'll see you again next time. Cheers guys.